Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we will be reading romance books leading up to Valentine's Day. I have so many romance books I would like to read. I have picked so many from my physical TBR, and I have picked so many books from my physical TBR and also from my digital TBR, from my Kindle, that I would like to read. But realistically, I don't think I can read 10 books in 1 week leading up to Christmas, to Valentine's Day. So I will just talk you through my TBR a little bit. So I have 5 books, I think, in total. I don't know if I can get to 5 books necessarily in 1 week. Maybe we'll extend it a little bit, but these are the 5 books that are, I don't know, I guess on top of the priority list. So let's just get into it. So I think I've read most of Emily Henry's romance books, but the newest one I have not picked up. I don't want to pick the physical book up until it's like small, what do you call it, like small paperback, because I even donated Happy Place because that it's big. I wanted like either small or like the medium one that they have. So I'm gonna wait until it's out, but until then I will pick it up on Kindle. So yeah, I know nothing about this, but I think since it's Emily Henry, it'll be really good, and I'm really intrigued in what I think about it. But also, I think by this point you guys know that I don't really read the back of any books really, because I feel like it's a spoiler a little bit. I like to figure it out on my own. So yeah, pretty much the first book is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Second one is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I've heard so many good things about this book. I just have never really had this desire to pick it up until quite recently. So I thought, you know what, let's pick it up. I think it's sports romance. I mean, from the cover, you guys can tell it's sports romance. So I love me some sports romance. And the third one, since I am so obsessed with cowboy romance, and especially with the Chestnut Spring series, I would like to look and search for more epic cowboy romance books. And the other series that I found, I think this is also pretty famous, which is the Done and Dusted. Is it Done and Dusted series? But it's Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I am very intrigued. I love cowboy romance. I love like the Wild West kind of vibe. I mean, I don't know if it's Wild West, but it's like small town cowboy, and they're like, I don't know, something about cowboy guys. Anyway, but yeah, I know nothing about this except that it's like cowboy from the cover, and also the cover is so beautiful. So I am excited to pick this one up. I know I keep saying I'm excited, but it's actually truly genuinely because I'm so excited in reading romance books. I haven't read a lot of romance books recently. It's always been fantasy. So the fact that I have a week, or like technically the whole month, can be just me guilt-free reading romance books. I mean, I sometimes need a break. That's why I need fantasy. But February, it'll be my romance month. Contemporary, fantasy, romantasy, whatever. As long as if there's romance in it, I'm reading in February. But yeah, the next book that I have is The Striker by Anna Huang. I think this book comes out also quite recently, so I'm excited. I know this is, Anna Huang has so many books, and I think all her books are in the same world kind of thing, or they're like interconnected, but it doesn't really matter if you read it out of order, because truly you don't see the other characters that in-depthly. It's just like sometimes mentioned, like for example from Twisted Lies, I think Christian, he owns like a security company kind of thing, and sometimes he's mentioned in other books that, oh yeah, we hired Christian, which is like the best in the branch kind of thing. So this book is about Asher Donovan, which we see a lot in the King of Sin series, I think, or like a couple times, and it's sports romance. I think either it's soccer, yeah, it is soccer. So I am quite excited to read this one. Again, I have another sports romance already, and I think the next one is a little bit of a sports romance, but I don't know if you qualify the next book as a sports romance. Anyway, yeah, I will show you what that is. But yeah, I'm excited. I haven't read Anna Huang's books since last year, obviously, but yeah, And the last books that I've read from her, it's been quite meh. So I'm really excited, and I hope that this book can be good. And yeah, moving on to the next book. It is none other than Binding 13. I put this in the TBR in the reading vlog that I filmed before this, which is like the first reading vlog of the year. And yeah, it's finally time, guys, to read Binding 13. I cannot procrastinate it any longer. If I don't read everything, but I read Binding 13, I think this vlog is a success. But obviously I'm gonna read other books as well, but Binding 13 would be my absolute priority, top of the top. This will be probably the first book. No, this probably won't be the first book I pick up because I'm quite intimidated by this. And yeah, but today is Thursday, January 30th. So I hope I can just read as much as possible by, I don't know, by the end of next week. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a week and a half. We'll see if I can read all 5 of these books. If not, then it's also not that big of a deal. But yeah, these are my TBR for this vlog. And the plan for today's vlog, it will be, I will bake some Valentine's Day cookie kind of inspired kind of thing. I don't know exactly what I will bake, but I will probably bake something, and I will obviously take you guys along. And from my Christmas vlog, I got, or like from the vlog over the New Year's, I got a lot of crafty gifts, I guess, and I would like to see if I can do that also in the next week, because I've been really itching to be a little bit more crafty. And either I want to do any, like something Valentine's Day decoration craft wise, or I will do either the paint by numbers or the book nook thing. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. I think that's that for the intro, and I am really excited to read some of these books, and I hope you guys too. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into reading some of these books. So I'm here to finally update you a little bit on Funny Story. Normally I would give you an update way before I reach this far. Wait, let me check what percentage I am in right now. I am currently 52% in, which usually I am currently 52% in, which usually I would do initial update at around, I want to say 20-30% mark slash like 150 pages into it. And yeah, but this time I think honestly this might be my favorite Emily Henry's books. I mean, my other favorite book by her is Book Lovers, and I think the other ones are meh. I don't necessarily love them, but I think I'm loving this so much more. But okay, pretty much what I can tell you about Funny Story so far is that it's about Miles and Daphne. So Daphne was actually previously engaged to Peter, and Miles was in a relationship with Petra, I think. And then Petra is Peter's childhood friend kind of thing. And just about whenever Miles and Daphne were about to get married, they did this bachelorette party slash bachelor party, whatever it is. And then Daphne couldn't come, obviously because it's a bachelor party. And yeah, the one that was there was Petra, and then they decided, you know what, let's get together and let's break up with our current partners. So that's exactly what they did. So in this situation, pretty much Peter and Daphne lived together. Peter in a way kicked her out, and yeah, she had to just go somewhere to live because she has nowhere to go to, because this city that they moved to is like what Peter wants, and she doesn't really have any friends really that are not related to Peter, or like she knew through Peter. So she built her life around Peter. So whenever Peter broke up with her, it's really devastating in a way because she knows nobody in this like foreign city of hers because she moved for Peter. And then so that's why whenever she met up with Miles, which is Peter's new girlfriend's ex, she asked him like, okay, Miles, how many rooms do you have in your apartment and can I live there for a bit? So that's exactly how it started. And yeah, in the beginning, honestly, the way Miles were described, he was just like a pothead and he's so just always smoking and he's not reliable and so on, according to Peter. But it's probably because Peter was like jealous. Slowly but surely we get to know Miles a little bit more, and honestly Miles, he's such a golden retriever in a way, and he's so, I don't know, and his personality is just like so wholesome in a way, and I really enjoy the chemistry between Daphne and Miles. I mean, like the situation in itself is honestly quite not confusing but quite disturbing in a way because it's so heartbreaking to see Daphne going through this in her like mid 30s. And yeah, but slowly but surely they became like friends, and yeah, we're pretty much now in like friend stage. Obviously it's gonna be a little bit more after, but I'm already so obsessed with Miles and Daphne. And I think they would make honestly such a good couple. And also the fact that it's mentioned that whenever you're in later on stage in your life, it's really difficult to find friends. And she stepped out, like Daphne stepped out of her comfort zone to talk to this coworker of hers, and they hit it off pretty much, Ashley. So it's also not just about the love story that Miles and Daphne gonna have, I guess, in the near future, but it's also about the friendship that she built along the way, which is like with Miles' friends and then her new friends, which is also, I feel like it's very real in a way, and I feel like these people exist somewhere in, I think they're in Michigan if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I think that's one thing I really enjoy about Emily Henry. She writes her characters very real, very raw in a way that I feel like it is what all of us would do in like her state kind of way, which is, yeah, it's really nice to just see that depicted instead of being like, oh, just like all of a sudden this good thing happened and this good thing happened. Usually bad things happen and it doesn't mean that you're going to be rewarded with good things. And I feel like with how real the book is, I really enjoy it so far, and I can see this book being like a 5-star. I am not quite sure though if this will be a 5-star, but so far I am I think I'm getting the 5-star feeling. I don't think it will be like, oh, it's gonna be my favorite book, like romance book of all time. I don't think so necessarily, but I think it could be up there. So yeah, that's my initial update. I will probably finish this book tonight, and yeah, I will probably talk to you whenever I have reading update for Funny Story. And I also did some unhinged book buying a few days ago, so whenever it comes I will definitely give you the book haul, because I don't think it's unhinged. I've been wanting some of these books for quite a while, and it's been in my TBR list for quite a bit as well. So the fact that I get now, I just pull the plunge and actually buy. I don't know how many books I bought. I think I bought 8 books in total. So it's bad. It's not good. February, I'm gonna try my best to not spend any money on books whatsoever. And also, I've started reading the cheat sheet a little bit, but I don't think I have any updates really that I can give you. Besides that, I think this novel is very... I tried reading Elle Kennedy, but it's so Elle Kennedy-esque. Maybe. I don't know. It's just the vibes that I'm getting is just like so, not trashy, but in a way quite trashy and quite... I don't know if this will be YA, but in a way it's very like that, the tone that is setting anyway. But yeah, it could be a really good book, but so far I have nothing to say about this book other than that. But whenever I have updates that I can give you, I will definitely give you. But yeah, that is my plan for tonight. and let's just get into reading. So I'm here to give you the final update for Funny Story. I have it over here. I honestly really love this book. I know I said in the beginning that it gave me like a 5-star feeling. I sadly don't think it is a 5-star for me. I think it is like almost there, like 4.75 stars. And I just really love how Miles are so attentive towards Daphne, and how granted, their whole relationship started a little bit rough, I would say. And the fact that the ending is like her prioritizing herself and then the relationship just feels right to me, because they jump into this relationship really fast anyway, because of, again, how I explained it in the beginning, that it was like they just freshly out of like a very serious relationship, and the fact that their relationship started off being like friends first, and then slowly but surely it developed into more. Yes, the transition period was so fast. It was like, if I'm not wrong, like less than a month. But yeah, I totally love the setting as well. I know in the beginning I was kind of like, oh no, is this the trope where they broke up, they got together, and then she just jumped back, or like they both just jump into another relationship immediately? And I thought like, oh, I don't think that's like a good strong foundation to a relationship. But how they go through things and how everything turned out, I just love it. I know, like with romance, I really am sometimes annoyed with the third act breakup, because it's not necessary. But I feel like in Funny Story, it is kind of, it's not necessary, but it makes Daphne realized that she's like, okay, this is exactly what she wants, and this is like, he's gonna work for this, and she shouldn't have this much trust issues against him, I guess, in a way. Because I mean, granted, I would probably be like Daphne if her ex is like a little bit manipulative like Peter. So, but yeah, all in all, I would 100% recommend. And I think, honestly, Funny Story might be my Emily Henry's favorite book so far yet. I'm excited for her newest book that is coming, if not in spring, in summer this year. It's like Great Big Beautiful Things, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, reading Funny Story just made me want to read more or reread more of her books, because I read Beach Read and I actually did not enjoy it whatsoever. I feel like Gus was just like such a meh male character. So I don't know. And I read People We Meet on Vacation, and I think that was just like, I don't know, something about it was off. But I feel like I definitely want to try and reread some of her books. I have most of her books here already, actually. I mean, I just unhaul Happy Place because it was the big paperback, and I am waiting for the small one. Even though it's been out for a while, I just have to get it one day. But yeah, that's my verdict. I think it's definitely not quite a 5-star, even though I really wanted it to be 5-star. But I think, yeah, I just have to leave it at that. My top 2 Emily Henry books are definitely Funny Story, and then Book Lovers. I truly adore Book Lovers for some reason. I think I just love people who love books. So reading about them is so interesting. Like, I'm reading about Daphne, who's a librarian, and I think in Book Lovers, our 2 main characters, they're both in the publishing industry. So yeah, I really enjoy both of them, and I think I want to reread them this year. I don't know if I'm going to reread them anytime soon, but I definitely want to reread them sometime soon. Just not like next book I'm picking up. I think that's that with Funny Story. I've read a little bit more of the cheat sheet. I still honestly have not much to say. I also lost my bookmark in here, but I think I'm less than 100 pages in anyway, so I can find my place pretty quickly. But yeah, I will probably continue reading the cheat sheet now and update you whenever I have updates for the cheat sheet. And yeah, we shall get into it. So today is the 4th of February, which is a Tuesday, and I am here to update you on cheat sheet and a little bit cheat sheet and a little bit of done and dusted. I did not give any thoughts about this book whatsoever, and besides my initial thought that I won't enjoy this book, and I think it is correct. My initial thought was onto something there, because I truly did not enjoy this book whatsoever. I mean, it's a good palate cleanser book, and I read it super fast, and I think this is just brain rot kind of book. I don't think I will be picking any other book by Sarah Adams. I just feel like it's so done, like overdone, the trope, and I've read probably this exact same story, just different characters in other books, which is, considering I think people who picked up this kind of books are looking for the same kind of tropes. But anyway, let me just get into the story a little bit. It's about Bree and Nathan. Bree is a dancer, and he's an NFL player, or like the NFL player. And they've been best friends since high school. And then fast forward to, I think, about 7-8 years after that, whenever they're in LA and they're working, and yeah, they are still friends. They've been in love with each other since high school, but no one really tried anything, so they're stuck in this friend zone where they don't want to confess really, because they don't want to lose the friendship, because they love each other so much, even platonically. Yeah, so pretty much the turning point, how they go out of the friend zone, is because they're in Nathan's friend's party, and I think Jamal is his name, and nobody could really drink whatsoever because they're in the playoffs and they trying to be sober and trying to be really good for the game the next day. But Bree is just having fun because she does not have to do the playoff the next day. So she drank a lot, and she accidentally spilled everything to like a reporter, I guess, that they met in this bar. She was puking, and she was telling like, oh my gosh, Nathan's ex-girlfriend is lying, because previously Nathan was in a relationship with this girl, and this girl had spread rumors to like news anchor or like gossip news TV thing that Nathan has erectile dysfunction. So yeah, so Bree didn't know that she was talking to a reporter, just said like, oh no, he does not have erectile dysfunction, it's all because of the ex-girlfriend is just like bad whatsoever. And then the reporter asked, okay, how about you, do you have feelings for him? And then I think she didn't say like, oh, if it were up to me, I will Tide pen all the women in his life. And then it leads up to like a brand deal with Tide, which is the brand of like a Tide pen, color correcting or stain correcting pen kind of thing for your clothing whenever you have stains. The contract is for them to fake date, and this is like quite a normal thing, I think, to fake date to promote something. So they were like, oh, this went viral, insanely viral, so they just gonna fake date for a bit. And obviously it turned into a little bit more. I feel like, honestly, this book would have been so good if it were like an adult romance instead of a young adult. I have no problems with having no spicy scenes or whatsoever, but I think just the language, the writing style is written for like younger audience, even like the younger category of YA. Whenever sometimes I read them, I was just like, am I 14 again? Why am I reading this? But yeah, some of the words are just questionable. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really like Bree as a main character as well, because Bree is such a, I don't know, she has like a pick me girl kind of vibe. I hate the word pick me, but she's just, I think if I were to use pick me as a word, I would describe it as Bree, which is so sad, because I feel like it could be so much more. It could be so good, but yeah, it's just not quite what I'm imagining to be, I guess. But yeah, so that's pretty much the cheat sheet. But if you are looking for like a YA romance, closed door, and has a little bit of a easier like writing style, then definitely pick this one up, because this one is pretty YA. I love YA, but maybe I feel like I'm also not into contemporary romance lately, which is questionable, because after reading Funny Story, I was craving more romance, contemporary, and I picked this one up, and all of a sudden my spark for contemporary romance just died. Which is not saying that this book is really, really bad. I think it's just not the book for me. I don't think I will be picking up any sort of this cheesy of a contemporary romance book anytime soon, even though the next book that I will be talking about is Done and Dusted, and it is contemporary cowboy romance. I don't know if I have a lot of initial updates for you guys. I have the same feeling for this one. I don't enjoy it, and I think a lot of people do not enjoy the first book anyway, but they enjoy the second book, which is Swift and Saddled, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's Swift and Saddled, and it is about Weston and Ada, I think. Yeah, I think I'll be pretty interested in seeing Weston and Ada's relationship. We've never met Ada, but we've definitely heard her getting mentioned by our main characters a couple of times. Yeah, Weston, I think, is just such a more, I don't know, I'm just more into the idea, I guess. Anyway, before I get into a tangent about Swift and Saddled, which I haven't read, I will talk to you about Done and Dusted. It's pretty much about Clementine, or Emmy, and Luke Brooks. Oh my gosh, what a name. Luke Brooks. So yeah, since she was little, Emmy has always wanted to leave her family ranch, which is called Rebel Blue Ranch. And yeah, she has left, and then I think she is 27 right now, and she went back to Meadowlark because of an incident. It was quite a horrific fall, and she was a bit traumatized by it. So she went back home she packed up everything and went back. She moved back to her best friend, trying to keep it all secret from her family. But obviously it did not happen that way, because she went to the bar with the best friend and met Luke, which is brother's best friend, like her older brother's best friend. And yeah, that's pretty much where it started. So insta-lusty and so insta-lovey that I am so like, where is the tension? Where is the pining? Where is the chemistry between the two characters? I certainly don't feel it. But I am currently on chapter 14 / page 160. So I am halfway into the book, and I think I'm gonna finish it tonight. I think I'm just gonna finish it now. I'm gonna sit right back there, read more of this. I mean, I just finished the cheat sheet. I want to see if I can finish Done and Dusted tonight as well / right now. But yeah, I just don't like how insta-lusty it is. I don't know, maybe contemporary romance are just not my thing anymore, which is so sad. I love romance. Anyway, that's pretty much my initial update on Done and Dusted. I'm flying through this, and I think I can definitely finish this hopefully pretty soon. And yeah, we shall pretty much get into it. I want to finish it today so I can get into my second most anticipated read in this vlog, which is, I have it over here. Binding 13. I definitely want to start this. I don't know, when I finish Done and Dusted, we'll see how I feel about reading. But if I still want to read more romance, I will definitely pick Binding 13. If not, I'm gonna pick another book that I'm currently reading as well, but not for this vlog. I am currently reading Clockwork Princess. So yeah, we shall see how I feel, and I will update you whenever there is update. And I think I'm gonna just focus on reading today, and I'm gonna bake, I think, tomorrow. I definitely want to do some crafty bits as well, but I think it's just a little bit much at the moment to just juggle everything. And yeah, I think I also did a lot of design work this week, which is, let me show you. I don't know if this is, you probably can see, this pink blob over here is a calendar that I made. I know it's February, I know, but I've been really wanting a calendar, so I made it. I will read Done and Dusted, and then I will set up my February reading journal spread. But anyway, I will read Done and Dusted. I will set up my reading journal. So this is quite a bit later. I am here to give you my final update on Done and Dusted, and I also have a haul that I would like to get into because I went quite a bit unhinged in buying some books in January. It started off so good. I didn't buy so many books like until towards the end. After I finished The Final Empire, I was so obsessed. So I had to buy the continuation of Mistborn Era 1, which is, I have The Hero of Ages, and I also have The Wells of Ascension. The ending of Final Empire is still just circulating in my brain. This is like 2 weeks after that. I still think about it so much. So I was like, you know what? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get this. So yeah, I'll be reading that soon. And other than that, because I was like, you know what? They have this discount kind of thing. I have a discount code from them. So I was just, let me buy another book by him as well, which is Warbreaker. I don't know anything about Warbreaker. I just know the reading order is to read Mistborn Era 1, and then you go to Warbreaker, and then I think you go into Stormlight Archive. I am not sure. There's a reading order that I'm following, but pretty much as far as I know, you follow the first 3 books in the Mistborn series, and then you go to Warbreaker. And if I'm not wrong, you go to either Way of Kings or Oathbringer. I am not sure. I just went to the bookstore and got all 3 of them because I feel like I needed to have the books in my life. Anyway, I also have another book haul over here. Yeah, I don't know what's up with me. The ending of January was just such a whirlwind. I just bought so many books for absolutely no reason. I guess for surviving January. But let's get into what I got. I wanted to buy so many more books from this. It is a online secondhand bookstore, and they gave me in an email randomly a 20% off code. I was like, okay, I should buy everything that I want right now because 20% off. But I decided to hold back and only get 3. So let's get into it. I bought Crescent City, Sarah J. Maas's Crescent City, which is House of Earth and Blood. I think that's the first book, if I'm not wrong. Hopefully it is. I really hope House of Earth and Blood is the first book. But yes, I am gonna start reading the Crescent City series also soon. I don't know when. I have so many books that I want to read in my TBR ASAP before winter ends. So maybe I'll pick this one up quite a bit later. Maybe like spring or somehow. But I have it now. And it is also a bargain because I think if you buy it new hardcover, it was, if I'm not wrong, like 30 something euro or like 20 something euro. And I got this for like 11 or 12 euro. And it's still in a pretty good condition, I want to say. So yes, I got that. And then I got Court of Blood and Bindings by Lisette Marshall. I heard a lot of good things about Lisette Marshall, and yeah, I looked up what books should I get from her first, and it's Court of Blood and Bindings. So I don't know anything about this, and I try to not look for any sneak peeks so that I can get into the story pretty blindly. So yeah, I'm excited. I know it's about Fae because here it says Fae Isles book 1. So I hope I will love this. I mean, the font is big and it's less than 400 pages. So I feel like it could be really bingeable, and I really am just craving for romantasy. I cannot wait. And the third book that I got is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. I am obsessed with his writing style. It's just so insightful and so wholesome, and it's just, yeah, something about his writing style. I'm just craving for more of his writing style. So I want to pick up the second book in the Beartown series, but then I was like, you know what? I want to read about something else other than hockey at the moment. So I decided I will be picking up A Man Called Ove in my next reading vlog, I think. But, or Beartown, I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure what I want to read in my next vlog, but either way, I am excited to finally have this copy in my hand. I know it's a little bit like not the greatest quality, but it's also secondhand, and plus I like my book a little bit battered, unless it's like precious special edition. I don't mind, but it hurts me a little bit. I am definitely a not book spine cracker whatsoever. I know if you see Done and Dusted, it is cracked, but it's also because it's whatchamacallit, it's also secondhand, so it's already cracked. It came cracked, so I don't mind cracking it, but it pains me whenever it's still so good and I see people just like cracking it. It hurts my soul, honestly. That's why I really enjoyed reading hardcovers, because yeah, you cannot really crack the spine. Sure, you can crack it, but then there's this sleeve that will cover it up. So but anyway, yes, I have Man Called Ove. I'm still not sure about that, but after this I wanted to do my February reading journal, and after my last update, which is like 3 hours ago, I think, the sticker packs that I bought arrived. It's from Etsy, and I'm just gonna show you real quick what I got. I'm just so obsessed with them, and I'm so obsessed with this Etsy shop. I will link it down below, but it's Möhrenkunst, which is from Germany, and I know a lot of people love this shop as well. So I was just thinking I'm gonna give you a mini haul of the sticker sheets that I got. So I have one which is Spring Days, and then I have one which is Cottage Core, and then I have one which I think would work for my reading journal setup. I still don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's this one, which is You and Me sticker sheet. I have books sticker sheet, so this one. And then this one is insane, honestly. I love this one. It's Spring Bouquets. Look at how beautiful, guys. Honestly, it's crazy. I have Pen Pal. I have Winter Wishes. And lastly, Bows. So yeah, I have many new stickers now, and I'm so obsessed with all of them. I really want to see if I can do any like Valentine's Day spread, because I always like to match my spread with the holidays surrounding the month. So yeah, that is my haul. Now we can I know I've been talking for quite a while, but now let's go to Done and Dusted. After I updated you before, I said that I was gonna read Done and Dusted, and I binged it. I literally did not move whatsoever. I just read everything, and yeah. I don't want to be mean to any books, really, but I think it's just not for me. I will still try and pick up Swift and Saddled, which is the second book, if I'm in the mood for cowboy romance. I probably like in the summer, not anytime soon, but yeah. I don't know what else I can tell you besides what I already told you in the previously. It's just that it's too insta lusty, and because it's like brother's best friend kind of trope, and whenever the brother found out, it just got resolved way too quickly, I feel like. And this book probably could benefit like 10 more pages or so, like make them work for the relationship somehow. Or like the brother, I don't know, something about it. I feel like the whole nerve-wracking thing is that I don't know if it's a misunderstanding then. Anyway, I don't know. think this specific one from the series is not my favorite, and maybe it's because I keep comparing them to the Chestnut Spring series. I don't know what Elsie Silver puts in her Chestnut Spring series, but it's just like quite insane. That's pretty much that for Done and Dusted. I know I don't have much update to give you for Done and Dusted, but I think it's just everything that I have to say and how I feel towards the book. I already talked in my initial thoughts of the book. I think, you know, today I will probably still pick up Binding 13. Hope Binding 13 is not so like brain rot as the other one. Not saying that brain rot is bad. I mean, I guess it could be bad, but not saying that the book itself, like a lot of people enjoy Done and Dusted. So if you guys enjoy Done and Dusted, great that you found it, that it's a good book for you, but it's personally not for me. So I will just pick up Binding 13. I think I definitely want to film my February setup after this. I'm just in the mood to be with my reading journal since I haven't been with my reading journal for quite a while. That is my long update for this section for Done and Dusted and my book haul. And yeah, I'm just gonna set up my reading journal now. Let's get into it. So this is the next day, and it's, I think, the 7th, if I'm not wrong. And is it the 7th? Is it the next day actually? I'm not sure. I lost track of time, but today is Friday and I wanted to bake something finally. I've been wanting to bake this whole entire week, but just haven't had the time to properly dedicate my time to baking, I guess. But I'm here to show you what we'll be baking. We'll be doing a box mix, I know, but I just want to bake something. So it'll be chocolate muffins, and I know it's open because I wanted to check whether they have this paper form for like muffin paper form. I can show you. They do have it, so that's good. And yeah, I also bought, it's called the Oblaten. You guys can see it, but I honestly don't know what it's called in English, but it is like an edible decoration kind of thing, and I bought it yesterday and it's hearts. It's so cute, so I was thinking I could put it on top of the chocolate muffins. But yeah, I finally have time to bake and I'm so excited to finally get to relax and have this time dedicated to baking. But before we get into baking, I am here to give you an update on Binding 13. So something about Binding 13, I feel like it reads so fast. But anyway, I am currently on page 254, which is, honestly, I didn't expect myself to read so much yesterday night. That I didn't even feel like I was reading that much, honestly, but apparently I did read a lot. And I think I was also pretty surprised when I flipped through the pages and I thought this book was 600 page long, guys, but it is closer. It is actually like 800 page long, I think, if I'm not wrong. It's 801 page long. So I'll be reading this for quite a while. I hope I get to finish it before Monday, which is when I have to upload this video. I will edit as I go, obviously. Like yesterday I read for like 4 hours, I think, or 3-4 hours, and I read 250 pages, which is, I feel like maybe it's normal for 4 hours. But my goal for today is to read up to like 600 mark-ish, so it's like 350 pages today. I think it is manageable, but if not, I will have tomorrow as well to finish it up. But yeah, so far what I know about this book, I don't know if we've gone through like the whole plot in the back because I'm not reading the back yet, but it's about Johnny and Shannon. Shannon comes from like a, I want to say like lower class family in Ballybaggins, I think it's called. She's been bullied her whole entire life in school. So the parents, or like the mom specifically, was just like, you know what, that's it. We're moving you to this private school. But the dad is so abusive, and it's like, it's really honestly heartbreaking how Shannon, who's just 15, dealing with all this because of the dad, and the dad is just so horrible to her. And yeah, I feel for her, and she's struggling so much. So it is like honestly quite dark in that sense. And then we have on the other side Johnny, which is a like one of the best rugby player. He is in the academy or slash like further education, further training for this rugby. He's pretty much one of the best 17-year-olds slash almost 18 rugby player that Ireland has ever seen. Yeah, during training he injured himself. He has like this hip adduction injury, which is like groin injury pretty much. He is struggling to heal because he's straining his body so much. He does not let his body rest whatsoever. And so the meeting between these two characters were Johnny accidentally threw the ball at the back of her head. She got a minor concussion because of it. And so that's like the meet cute kind of thing. I don't know if it's the cutest meet I've ever met, but I think it's pretty raw in a sense. And I feel like this book is 800 page long and is so thick because we get to like fully experience in depth what they're going through, and they're so like detailed. I feel like I don't even need to know some of this, but I think it adds up to the story in a way. And the one thing that I notice a lot about this book is that they swear so much. I don't know if it's like an Irish thing, but they swear an insane amount, and some of the things I would never even say out loud, and I don't even have heard anyone say that in real life, but it is here. But yeah, it is very interesting. I definitely feel the tension between the characters and the chemistry whenever they talk. I love slow burn romance, and I'm excited. 800 pages long for just like slow romance, and I don't even know if they're gonna get together in the end of this, because there is keeping 13, so probably second act breakup. We shall see. But I really honestly enjoy this kind of school setting as well, but also I really like how easy to read it is. I don't know if it's gonna be my favorite book, like romance series ever. I know these are a lot of people's favorite books, but I don't know if I will be one of them. But I am definitely having a grand old time reading this. So yeah, I will be continuing reading this today, and hopefully I get to finish it tomorrow. But yeah, honestly, very intriguing, very excited, and I hope I get to read this. It's still quite early, I think. It's not even 2 p.m. I just had lunch, and I thought, you know what a good dessert I could have. Chocolate muffins. So I'll be doing this, and I will show you the end result, obviously. But yeah, I think enough update for now, and let's just get baking. So, I am here to give you the final update on all the books that I read. But before we get into that, I think I want to talk a little bit about Binding 13, because I finished it last night. And what can I say about this book? This book is very... I didn't expect it to be as emotional as it is. I mean, I know a lot of people say that it is quite a dark book, and to that I 100% agree, because this talks about domestic violence and just abusive parent, also like neglect by parents. But it's also quite insane what Shannon really went through, and she's only 16. And I think honestly their meet cute is quite horrifying. But I also love, besides like the chemistry between Johnny and Shannon, the way that this book was just so funny, because like the banter between the characters just quite hilarious. And even like the mom like Johnny's mom to him, like the way they speak to each other is just funny. And I really enjoy Gypsy's character as well, which is Johnny's best friend. How they just like complement each other, and how Johnny's so serious about everything and Gypsy's absolutely not serious at all. But yeah, I honestly am so baffled by the ending. I picked up Keeping 13 already. I have read around 120 pages of Keeping 13 yesterday, so I finished Binding 13 and I'm starting Keeping 13. Even though I said I'm quite tired of reading contemporary romance, I just need to know what happened after Binding 13, because the way the last chapter ended is too cliffhangery, if that's a word. It's just like a massive cliffhanger, and I really need to know what's gonna happen next. So the ending of this book just ended so abruptly, and I didn't expect it to end the way it ended, and I just had to know what's gonna happen next, like between Johnny and Shannon, because something happened to Johnny, like pretty major, and it is like a life-changing thing that happened to him, and so I was really curious about that. But the last chapter was actually in the point of view of Shannon, which is just, yeah, that chapter was honestly heartbreaking. And now that I read a little bit of Keeping 13, obviously I'm not gonna talk about Keeping 13 too much because I don't know a lot of things about it yet, but from the 100 pages that I read, it is going downhill like very fast. I don't know, I just want to know where this story goes, because it is another 800-page book, and I think I'm just gonna continue reading this slowly. But yeah, let's talk about the other books that I read. Before that, I also want to talk about The Striker, because I did not end up reading The Striker because, yeah, I was just, after reading the cheat sheet, I think I was in a little bit of mini slump. I know before going into this vlog, I was already a little bit in a reading slump, and then I was like, you know what gonna get me out of the reading slump is romance books. And it did. Funny Story definitely took me out of that reading slump, and then the cheat sheet put it back in the reading slump. So yeah, even though it's a very short book, I think it's less than 300 pages or just 300 pages long, 300 page long. It's such, both of these books, I feel like done and dusted. It could be, I love cowboy romance, like I said, Chestnut Spring, but I think this is just, it's not quite what I imagined it to be. So I'm gonna pick up Swift and Saddled, not next, not anytime soon, but probably in the summer, like I already said. And we shall see if I want to continue with the series. I know there's only 3 books in the series, so I thought maybe I'd just finish it, but I don't know if the 3rd one is out even. I assume so, or maybe this year. I have no idea, but yeah. I read Funny Story, and Funny Story for me was such a good read. It took me out of the reading slump so fast, and yeah, I rated it 4.75. like I already said. It's almost a 5-star. Just, it's so close to being there, but I don't know exactly what it's missing, but it's missing something for me personally. So yeah, that's Funny Story. And this book's, they're, I don't know, I want to say 3-star, 2.5, 2.75. I would never think of the characters ever again, which is sad. The Striker I will probably read sometime soon, but I think I read the cheat sheet, which is a sports romance, and Binding 13, which is also a sports romance, and I'm currently reading Keeping 13, so I don't think I want to read any sports romances anytime soon. I just want to read fantasy. I'm done with just contemporary romance as if for now, because I'm sick and tired of it. Even though, not yesterday, I think 2 days ago, I did go to the bookstore and bought Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which is also a sports romance, but I don't know if I'm gonna read Deep End anytime soon. But Ali Hazelwood's writing style does take me out of my reading slump a little bit, but I think what I need right now is just a fantasy book to cleanse my palate. So yeah, and then in this video I also said I also want to do some crafty bits, but I didn't manage to do any crafty bits, but I did manage to do a little bit of design worky, I guess. I designed a calendar, even though it's February. I just feel like calendars so useful, so I just want to have it. So I decided to design myself one. And yeah, I like the color scheme that I put in some of this. So I think I want to say I did a little bit of crafts. But yeah, so that's the calendar that I made. And other than that, I also made like some posters that I want to hang up on my wall, which I can show you. it's all like Bible verses related. So I have this one, and some of them are just like real quick. I made it, so don't judge too much. That is pretty much the reading vlog, but I am excited to continue reading Keeping 13. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.